Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to the 14th December lesson. Open your books, please. Page 29. We started this week with the part of my project. We talked about the diaries here, and we talked about the hobbies, interests, and also the diaries headings. And after we asked and answered the questions here. Also, we read the diary, and here are some questions. We should find the present perfect tenses exercises in the diary. So let's see them. For example, the one, find present perfect for an activity that happened in the past but we don't know when. 2. The present perfect with form. 3. The present perfect with already. 4. The present perfect with yet. And 5. The past simple with a specific time. Let's see them in the diary. The first one, I've practiced 2 jazz pieces. I've joined the leisure center. I listened to lots of music. I listened to some Ed Sheeran's new album. I've also watched some YouTube music videos. I've mostly hung out with my friends. I've done most of my homework. And for the second question, this week I played the piano for 3 hours. For the third part, I've already been there twice. For the fourth part, I haven't done my English homework yet. I haven't bought a birthday present for my brother yet. I haven't done enough piano practice for my exam yet. And the last part, I went swimming on Tuesday. I played badminton on Thursday. Last weekend, I went to my friend Emily's house and we watched films. You can underline these sentences on the diary part text. Okay, so we continued here. We gave a project to you, project homework. Okay, you will write an example project like this. You can look at this. Okay, now let's look at the next page, culture part. Here we talked about the spending most of your time. You told me that you spent most of your time online, like the US teens. So we read here a text and we learned questions. We learned some information about the US teens. Okay, let's look at the questionnaire here, and we talked about them in the lessons. We answered the questions. And now 1A, work with a partner, look at the figures in the box and match them into the information 1 to 6 in the infographic. Let's see. Okay, 9 hours time spent using media in one day. 2,600 number of teenagers interviewed about their habits. 60% of teenagers who text during study. 75% of teenagers who listen to music while they study. 62% of boys who enjoy video games. 44% of girls who prefer social networking to playing video games. Here are these parts, and let's look at part B. Read the online article and check your answers. What is the favorite media technology of US teens? We read them in the lesson, and the US teens prefer TV and music above all other forms of media. And here we answered the other questions in the class, so we can look at the video game technology.
Around the the world, more than 2.5 billion people play video games. In the UK, video games are very popular, but for some people, they are more than a hobby. You can study video game design at many universities, and there are lots of great jobs making video games. One of the most interesting parts of making a video game today is a process called motion capture. Motion capture is the process of creating lifelike game characters using actors and computers. Tim Doubleday has always loved playing video games. He studied animation at university, and he's worked in the motion capture industry since he finished studying. Tim has worked on many exciting projects. He creates characters for lots of different video games. So, how does he do it? It takes a long time to create a realistic video game character, and the process usually starts in a studio. Today, Tim is working in a studio with Mike. The studio is full of cutting-edge technology. There are 13 special cameras, which are all linked to a central computer. Mike prepares the computer for filming by waving a strange T-shaped stick with red lights on it in front of all the cameras. When all the camera lights turn green, the computer is ready. Mike puts on a skin-tight black suit. And now the most important stage can begin. Tim puts reflective markers all over Mike's suit. The special cameras will only record the position of these markers when Mike moves. And using this information, the computer program starts to create a digital character on screen. This is motion capture. The character moves in exactly the same way as Mike. But recording Mike's movement is just the beginning of the process of making a video game character. The computer program is very powerful. It uses all of the information collected in the studio to create a moving digital skeleton. Back at his desk, Tim checks the skeletons are moving correctly. Sometimes there are problems, and he needs to change or add some information. This work takes a very long time, especially when there is more than one character. When Tim has finished checking the skeletons, he covers them with a computer skin, and they start to look more like bodies. And now computer technicians and animators will turn them into all kinds of characters and creatures in the world of the computer game. Some video game characters move very well, and many of the actors who play these characters in the studio are athletes and dancers. It's very hard work. They have to repeat the same actions again and again, in slightly different ways, so that the video game players have lots of different options. If your character can cross a river, or they can fall in the river, the performer has done both. The next time you play a video game, think about all the technology and the people who made your game so enjoyable.
And turn the page, page 31, learn through English part. How many genres of music do you know? Which do you listen to? Let's look here. In the lessons we read them and we looked at the exercises. What musical instruments can you see? We talked about them, and let's see the answers. And you can write them on your notebooks or on your books too. Electric guitar, saxophone, drums and violin. Okay, listen and check.
Track 40, page 31, exercise 1. Pop music started in the UK in the 1960s and came from American rhythm and blues. Features verse and chorus songs with good melodies. 4-part band, drums, bass guitar, lead guitar and voice. Rock music today developed from rock and roll, which began in the 1950s. Features solo guitar riffs, powerful lyrics. Jazz began in the 1920s in New Orleans, USA, when African music combined with European folk music. Features changing rhythms, trumpet and saxophone. Hip-hop comes from American urban black culture. It includes DJing, graffiti art, breakdancing, and rap. It began in the Bronx in New York in the 1970s. Features rapping, talking in rhyme over music, programmed beats. Urban R&B is a style of African American music which has come from jazz and combines with hip-hop. It began in the 1980s. Features powerful singing, drums and strings. Classical music happened mainly in the period 1750 to 1820. It was usually written for orchestras with many instruments. In concertos, one instrument has a solo part. In symphonies, the whole orchestra plays. Features written for an orchestra. 3 parts or movements, usually fast, slow, fast.
And after this part, we can look at part 2a. Complete the quiz, listen and match the 8 pieces of music to the genres in the box. Listen and complete it.
Track 41, page 31, exercise 2.
The voices in my head are telling me to avoid you. Locked inside my house, it's like I'm stuck in a void room. I bite my nails short from all the anxiety. Maybe I should be locked away from society. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
2. 3. 4.
Round up the doggies, close the corral. The sky's a dark shade of blue. Light up a fire, I'll sing you a tale
5. 6.
It's getting deeper now, I know it's time to let go. I found a note that says we gotta get through. We've been forever, baby, but I ain't no angel. Oh, I'm rising with the tide. Oh, I'm rising with the tide. Ooh.
7. 8.
You see my face on the TV. You hear my voice on the radio. You see my life through a magazine. I'm everywhere that you go. That's what it's like to be famous. That's what it's like to be me. That's what it's like to be.
Here we listen to them again with you. Alright. And we pass part 3. Here we will listen again. And which musical instruments do you hear? Choose from the words in the box. Let's listen.
Track 41. Page 31. Exercise 2.
The voices in my head are telling me to avoid you. Locked inside my house, it's like I'm stuck in a void room. I bite my nails short from all the anxiety. Maybe I should be locked away from society. Yeah, it's getting crazy.
2. 3. 4.
Round up the doggies, close the corral. The sky's a dark shade of blue. Light up a fire, I'll sing you a tale. Tired little buckaroo. Yippee-ki-yi-yi-o.
5. 6.
It's getting deeper now, I know it's time to let go. I found a note that says we gotta get through. We've been forever, baby, but I ain't no angel. Oh, I'm rising with the tide. Oh, I'm rising with the tide. Ooh.
7.
8.
Okay, so we completed it. And after this, we can pass the next page. Here, there is a story. Listen to the story.
Stories from the Campfire. Episode 1. Vicky and Connor were cold and tired, but they were a long way from their campsite.
Look over there. There's a fire.
A tall woman was sitting next to the fire.
Come and join me. Would you like something to eat?
Yes, please.
I ask only one thing. While we sit here, please tell us a story.
Okay, I can tell you one. This really happened to my cousin Anna. She and her friends had a band. They used to meet every week to practice and hang out.
Where's Matt? We can't play without our guitarist. Matt, where have you been?
Oh, you won't believe this. I've just seen Denny Page. Denny Page? He used to be a famous rock star a long time ago, didn't he? Yes, I've liked his music for years. I was walking through the park when I saw this gardener. I took this photo. Just look at him.
He doesn't look much like a rock star.
Anna was checking online.
What does it say? Page was unhappy with the life of a rock star. One night he fell out with the rest of the band. After a big argument, he drove off. That night he died in a car crash. Why are you smiling, Matt?
Just this. Perhaps Denny Page didn't die at all. Come with me, Anna, please. I just want to know for sure.
Anna agreed to go to the park with Matt.
Excuse me, this is a strange question, but are you Denny Page?
The man looked up with a frightened expression. Then he ran.
Come back, please! I just want to talk!
Matt!
Please don't run, Mr. Page.
Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about the past.
But they didn't see the lorry on the road behind them.
Watch out!
Thank you. But please understand something. Since Denny Page disappeared, I've been happier than ever. I don't want to go back to my old life.
We understand.
The next day, Matt and Anna found something outside the shed.
It's a new song by Denny Page.
Awesome!
They went to the park to say thank you, but Denny Page wasn't there. They never saw him again.
Okay, after listening and watching this video, we went to the workbook page 22-23. On the 22, we looked at the first part here. Complete the sentences with the correct form of the verbs in the box. Okay, 1 were, 2 saw, 3 gave, 4 sat, 5 told, 6 was, 7 happened, 8 listened. And for the part 2, correct the full sentences from Connor's story. 1. Anna and her friends used to meet every week to practice and hang out. 2. Matt was the guitar player in the band. 3. Matt was walking through the park when he saw a gardener. 4. Anna read about Danny Page online on the internet. 5. The gardener was frightened when Anna and Matt came to talk to him. 6. Matt and Danny didn't see the lorry on the road behind them. 7. Danny gave Anna and Matt a new song for their band. 8. After that day, Anna and Matt never saw Danny Page again. Okay, we continue with the part 3. Work with a partner and discuss the questions we talked about them in the lesson. Now listen and put the information in the order that you hear, please.
Track 12, page 22, exercise 4. The story of Denny Page.
In this special TV programme, we look back on the musical career of Denny Page. Phil Dunton, you were the drummer in Silver Star. Tell us, how did you first meet Denny Page? How did he join the band?
We were playing in small clubs. We weren't very good, to be honest. One night our usual guitarist got ill. He couldn't play, and the crowd was getting angry. Suddenly, this long-haired guy from the crowd jumped up on stage. He said he knew all of the songs. He started to play, and he was incredible. Much better than our usual guitarist. He was a better singer too.
Denny Page joined the band that night. Here's Sally Reed, the band's bass guitarist.
With Denny in the band, we quickly became more and more famous. But there was a problem. Denny loved making music, but he was really shy. He wanted to walk down the street without people stopping him all the time. Denny hated all that.
Soon there were other problems too. Here's drummer Phil Dunton again.
Denny started writing all of our songs. He wrote some brilliant rock songs, but he began to get interested in other musical genres. Some of his later songs were sort of jazz. Some of them even sounded a bit like classical music. I didn't like all of it, but if any of us weren't completely positive about the new songs, Denny used to get angry. We fell out really badly after one concert. Denny said we weren't good enough musicians. He said he was leaving the band. He drove off that night. We never saw him again.
That night, 10 years ago, Denny Page died in a terrible car accident. Or did he? A few Silver Star fans believe Page did not die that night.
I've never believed that there was an accident. The police found Denny's car in the river, but they never found a body. Denny didn't just want to leave the band. He wanted to leave the entire life of a rock star. He's alive somewhere, I'm sure of it.
Is it true? Has one of the world's greatest rock stars lived a secret life for the last 10 years? Nobody knows. But one thing's certain. We will always have the wonderful music of Silver Star and Denny Page.
Okay, now let's see the order. 1 is how Denny joined the band. 2 is how Denny felt about being a rock star. 3, the songs that Denny wrote for the band. 4, the night when Denny had his accident. 5, what some fans think about the accident. And now listen, you can listen it again and circle the correct answer. Let's see the answers. The name of the band was Silver Star. Denny played guitar. He joined the band when one of the band members was not well. Denny couldn't stand the life of a rock star. When other band members weren't sure about the new songs, Danny became angry. Some fans didn't believe the story about Danny Page's death because the police never found his body. Okay, turn the page. Here, complete the questions with question words, then match the questions A to E. Let's see. Where did you play concerts? What job did Danny have when you first met? Who wrote the band's songs before Danny joined the band? When did the band begin to fall out? 1B. We played in a small group clubs at first. 2C. He was working in a music shop when we met him. 3D. Nobody. We used to play famous songs by other bands. 4E. It happened about a year after Danny joined the band. He was getting interested in different kinds of music. 5. Me. I've always loved playing rock, nothing else. And now you will look at part 7. Unscramble the words to tell the story of Danny's early life. 1. Grew up. 2. Boat. 3. Study. 4. Spend. 5. Left. 6. Moved. 7. Used. For this week, we revised Unit 2 and we watched the stories. We looked at the genres of the musics. So you can check them again if you need. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye.